Today, we're joined by co-founder of Nini Organics, an artisan natural skincare brand. Delighted to have you today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Alex, you have such an incredible story. I know we've been connected for some time now, and I've followed part of your journey. Do you want to share a bit more about your journey? What was the pivotal moment in you starting Nini Organics?
Well, I remember it like it was yesterday of me being in Harrods when I was 18. And I remember selling, the most famous brands in the world.
Yeah.
And just thinking, someone owns this. Someone is at the head of this brand that is making decisions, formulating all of this and all of that. And I was thinking, how incredible would that be? And then backtrack even more. When I was 15, I had acne. And that was the first seed that was planted for me to be in the beauty world. But I started my career, or my passion for life and for like what I wanted to do was acting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I wanted to be an actor when I was younger, but I got acne. And acne, I mean, what actor has acne on screen, even now? Like, do we know any? I don't know any. So I basically parked that career when I had the acne, and I realized it wasn't going to take off.
Oh, wow. So you parked your acting career because you had acne.
Yeah. So, and I was on Differin after Roaccutane, which is a form of tretinoin. And I was like, my skin was just peeling off. So I turned to beauty, and then I just felt so much passion and burning desire to continue that career and park the acting career. So I did. And that was, I remember being in Harrods and having the acne were my two seeds of when I was like, this is me. This world of beauty is me.
Where did your love for formulating and creating come from? Was it just trial and error, or how did that start?
It started because I discovered natural beauty. I then done a natural and organic formulation course a couple of years later, which gave me the basic tools and the basic learnings to make anhydrous products. And then obviously I added water in later on in my career to really elevate our formulas, use the next generation ingredients and all that good stuff. But it just made sense to me. And I say this with so much love, but I'm a preference beauty formulator. I prefer to use as close to nature as you possibly can get, or natural organic ingredients / the biotechs. That's just my preference. And the other ingredients, I just like to use as close to nature as possible.
What was important for you to include if you were to launch this brand?
So when I discovered the power of natural and organic ingredients, and I discovered Content Beauty, which was like an emporium of just, in my opinion, pure magic. When I was in there for hours in that shop, I swear they thought I was stealing half the time because they were like
intently staring at them.
Do you need any help? Do you need help? And I was like, no, I just want to be left alone and just smell things and try everything. Like it was my wonderland. And every formula that I looked at, or every product that I read the story, it just all made sense to me. So I knew that when I was going to launch Nini Organics, my values had to stay at that absolute core within me that makes me glow and shine and makes me want to create the most magical formulas ever. But other than that, our other core values is just creating a community of love and health for your skin and just making sure that our tribe is on our journey with us.
I always say the brands that do the best and do very well in the market are the brands that have community and community behind them. Because I think that marketing can only get you so far in the sense that marketing, you can shout the loudest and people will buy, but will they reorder? So for me, community is such a big word. It'd be really interesting to understand how you went about creating community and what does that look like in the early days and then what does that look like now?
Do you know what? And this is why I'm a big believer in manifestation. I'm a big believer in like everything happens for a reason, everything. And I was meant to be put onto this world in this kind of real performative way because I linked those performative moments of my life into my brand, which to a marketer, I'm like gold dust, right? Because so many founders either hide behind their brand or don't want to face their brand, and they allow the marketing to kind of do the spiel and everything. Whereas I am literally the person. I'm the face of the brand. I am that founder. I'm very founder-led with Nini Organics. I do it with my sister. So we're brother and sister founded, but I am very much the face and the voice of the brand. And that has allowed us to create the most engaged, the most fabulous, the most festive community ever. And we have, on average, a 77% returning customer rate.
Oh, wow, that's incredible, right?
And in the skincare world, it's normally 29 to 30%.
Wow, that's such an incredible rate.
And I think that's testament to not only our formulas working, we're results driven, but also they get what they pay for. They get so much more than what they pay for.
They get value.
They get value. If they need any help whatsoever, they DM me, they call us. You know, we're probably one of the only companies that you can still call and speak to someone, literally. We've got the Nini phone.
You've never really lost that humanity.
Never. And that's
human
key.
touch.
That's key. And that was always going to be the case when we launched the brand. We launched it in markets, in farmers markets. So we had that point of contact with the customers there and then. We didn't launch it with hardly any backing, but we launched it with no backing. Me and my sister launched it with £2,000. And we were the voice. We were the ones going out there, literally, like what they did in the olden days. So we kind of like have really stuck true to that world of how it was done back in the day. Human touch, human connection, communicating with your customers, connecting with them.
So what would you say is the marketing channel that gives you the most return?
Make your message so strong and make your customers trust you so much. So word of mouth is everything. It's free, for one.
Yeah,
it's
real.
everything. So just be so strong with your messaging and be as authentic and passionate and driven as you possibly can. Like, I'm obsessed with what we've created, like obsessed. And I use Nini daily. I have been since we launched it in 2017, but prior to that, 2015, since I started it. But like, you have to be obsessed with what you've made and you have to love people. If you don't love people, don't be in business.
In your Nini journey, what would you say has been one of the toughest trials that you've probably come across and had to overcome?
I think because we are small batch made, like we make our biggest batches are 500 units. So where we are small batch, we can go out of stock quite quickly, which is great. I guess it's a great problem to have, but it's also an annoying problem to have because customers are like, wow, you're out of stock. Like, I wanted to get it and I need it or whatever. Yeah. And then we have cash flow. So cash flow is absolute icon queen of life. And when your cash flow is not there, but you need to restock and you need to hit a certain minimum, you're like, what do I do? What do I do? So we've had to pivot a few times in certain moments where that's happened. I feel like we've streamlined it a little bit better now. But I remember that being like a real eye-opener moment. Like, we always have to forecast, and like where it's just me and my sister that do the legwork, mostly everything to do with the company. Like, we forget to forecast sometimes. And we're like, oh God, we're sold out of our best-selling product and we haven't got any bottles on order. What are we doing? So yeah, it's just making sure cash flow is flowing, is queen, and you're not overspending for sure. And also that your inventory is, you know, always there basically. And especially if you're small batch, making sure your inventory, if it's getting down to like, you've got 100 units left, reorder.
Have you ever had any sort of challenges during your time at Nini other than cash flow?
I think we've just recently had a price increase because we've never had a price increase. And that was really challenging for us. I think we entered the market as a kind of a mid-range luxurious price point.
Yeah.
And then when Nini got more serious in 2019, the prices were where they were, and they were classified as more luxury price points. But we had never upped our prices until now. But inflation had gone up, raw ingredient costs had gone up, and we pay 10x for our ingredients. Our formulas are so incredible and so worth every penny, but we were absorbing a lot of costs because we didn't go up with inflation. So now we've had to put the prices up. But I always say this, and I'll stand by it, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And that is just a fact. You know, we all know that. And there are things out there in this world that people don't even bat an eyelid and they buy it. But as soon as an artisan comes out with something, they're like, oh no, it's too expensive.
So if I was a new founder coming to you for advice, Alex, what would you say to me?
Why?
Why? Why are you starting?
Yeah. Why are you doing this? Well, what is the reason behind you doing it? Because if the reason is because you don't want to have a 9-to-5 job, you'll be working 24/7. So you take that out of your mind.
Yeah.
If the reason is you have so much passion and love and enjoyment for what you want to create or what you want to offer as a service, whatever it may be, go for it.
I have a quick question, actually. I was going to ask this earlier. If an investor came to you today and said, look, we want you to join our portfolio of other multinationals, what would your answer be?
Oh, as in like need to invest in Nini?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Honey, we need major investment. I think when it comes to, it depends on where I want to go. We still want to stay artisan, right? We don't really have ambitions to be in every single beauty store going.
And that's okay.
And that's absolutely fine. And I want to stay that way because, like I said, artisan, handmade skincare for me is quality, it's luxury. And we're going to go backwards in time. People are going to realize, actually, the real quality is that person down the road making their bags, that person down the road making their candles, or that person down the road making their skincare. That's true luxury. If you look at luxury known brands, if you just look at the ingredient list, you're like, I'm literally just paying for emulsifiers, water, and microplastics, liquid plastics, or liquid film formers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and fragrance. I'm like, okay, you spend £500 on that cream because what you're buying is that. Whereas if you want true luxury, it's the artisans. It's the people you can speak to, you know? So for an investor coming on board, the investment that we would take is to just champion that story even more and have our own shop.
If you could go back in time, back to the early days of Nini, what would you have done differently?
I think what we would have done differently was the rebrand is we would have maybe staggered it a little bit more. We kind of just went straight into it and we were out of stock for a whole month in December because we didn't want to have any interim bottles anymore. So that really was a bad mistake. Like we learned a lot from that.
That was like inventory management.
Yeah, we learned a lot from that. So I would change that because that was annoying. But yeah, and I would probably say to my younger self as well, like my 15-year-old self that had acne that was underneath, because I used to have one of those up in the air beds that underneath, you know, had all like your toys and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I had my acne. I remember like with my mum's video camera filming it. So I've got footage of my acne, which I'm so glad I'd done. And I would say to my younger self, like if I was reflecting back in a mirror, looking back at me, going, you're lucky. You are so lucky you've got acne. You know that? Because when you have something like that on your face, you think you're the most unluckiest person in the world. And you think it's just the end. But it's not. It's the absolute start of an incredible journey and stuff that you will take with you for the rest of your life. Lessons you will learn, you know? Like I've had acne. I'm bald. Like I have to look within to find so much acceptance when the world wasn't accepting
self-love.
You know, self-love. And I always say nothing looks as good as acceptance feels. And I really
say that for the camera.
Yeah, nothing looks as good as acceptance feels. It's a spin on that famous Kate Moss saying nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, but I made it way more positive.
Yeah.
And I really championed that. So I just added another little segue from that question. But yeah, I wouldn't change much.
I
but I would
love
also
that. I feel like self-acceptance is good. And this goes back to entrepreneurship being a self-development plan.
It is.
Discover so much about yourself.
And
in hindsight, you didn't need to hate the acne phase because actually it led you to one of your biggest breakthroughs, which is Nini Organics.
Literally.
And you're doing amazing. Alex, thank you so much for sharing your story with me. I've enjoyed our Nini time together. Alex, if the viewers wanted to find you, how can they find you?
You can find us on Nini Organics website, and you can also find us on our Instagram, Nini Organics. We do the tickety-tock, but I prefer the Instagram. It's way faster.
Instagram is better.
Yeah, I think Instagram's my age, and I love it.
Instagram is more community feel, in my opinion.
And we do the green switch, which I help people swapping over all their products, including body, perfumes, any hair, makeup, whatever it may be, to more of that natural organic vibe, that preference if you want to. And that green switch is on our website. Just type in the green switch and you can book an appointment with me. And it's one-on-one with me and I go through everything.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
Thank you. And Nini stands for Natural Ingredients, Nature's Intention. It's also a blend of my name and my sister's name.
Thank you, Alex.